Who's next to go? Yeah, who's next to go? I check the line. Who's next to go?
Bondzee live. Bondzee on YouTube.
It was eye-opening to see the impact of what this drug is doing firsthand. It is sad, it's scary, and it's happening in our own backyard.
It's just getting ridiculous. And I seen the first time I ever had to deal with any type of people on drugs, it was my wife and her boyfriend. So, naturally, I came home from work and I started hearing some moaning from my bedroom, and I had to go figure it out what was going on. So I went in there and I said, boom, 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 bam! I shot up in that door like that, and the door flung open. And I seen, guess what I saw? I saw them with a double-sided dildo with their ass smashed together. I said, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right. These motherfuckers look like cat dogs. So I say, what the hell going on up in here? He gonna turn around and say, huh? And she gonna say, meow. I said, oh hell, something got to be wrong. And that's the first time I ever came into contact with what these drugs are doing to the community.
Donna Liz, it was eye-opening to see the impact of what this
How much money? How was money? Jaden has $1 bill, 1 quarter, and 2 pennies. How much money? How much money does he have? Jaden broke.
That kid made my day. Jaden broke. Oh, what a laugh on that kid. Totally infectious, isn't it? How the hell are you? It's Bondzee Live, Tripping with Bondzee on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook. It's episode 245. I can't believe it. 245 episodes. We're rolling on. I don't know how much longer. I'll get into it minorly in a little bit. Stand by. Make sure you go to Tripping with Bondzee on YouTube, subscribe. That'll help me out a whole lot. And go watch the show there. It's really not that hard. It is Tripping with Bondzee. We got a great show lined up for you tonight. I've been trying to get this wonderful human being for a little while now. And she's busy. She's had a baby. She's a rock star. I totally get it. But finally got her. Miss Emily. The Miss Emily is coming on to join us tonight. We're going to talk Canadian music. We're going to talk her Juno nominations. She's going on a mini tour to Europe coming up, I believe, in the next few weeks. So much going on with her. She's wonderful. She's beautiful inside and out. You'll love her too. Cannot wait to talk to Miss Emily. Fantastic Canadian musician out of Kingston. Speaking of bands, we got the best band ever to the Tragically Hip. Paul Langlois will be joining us next week. He just released his brand new social media today on Instagram and that. Make sure you go follow him. It's at Paul Langlois Band. And Paul will be joining me next week to talk about the brand new band, the brand new single, and what they're going to be up to and where they're going to be playing and stuff. So dream come true. Can't wait to interview Paul Langlois. That's going to be special. And another great band next week. They're this Friday, the Feral Minx, great band out of Kitchener, Ontario. They're releasing a brand new single video to accompany it. There we go. Easy for you to say, Bonds. And really looking forward to talking to them. I believe that's next Monday, or it's vice versa. But listen, stick around and it'll be all over the social medias for sure. Really stoked about those two bands coming on. Great guys. And then music gurus of all musical gurus, Alan Cross will be joining me next month. That's if I'm still here. Nah, I'll still be here. Most likely, but we'll get into that in a second. Like I said, listen, I had a busy weekend and I forgot last Wednesday, I caught wind that Sarge had put some crazy comment on the Daily Mail, a big, huge newspaper out of England. And they posted it and emailed her and said, something about her comment or whatever. Anyway, she's proud as punch, but she won't tell me what it is. So I sort of forgot, but was busy. I wasn't home. I got to see my boys and spend some time with them this weekend. So I was gone for most of Saturday and half of Sunday. So listen, who knows? The bloody Secret Service could be here shortly and take an old Sarge away on us. But listen, I promise I'll find out what she was up to and what she said, because for some reason she's keeping it a little secret from Bonzarelli. That means she said something, and we need to know what old Sarge said, okay? For those of you who don't know, maybe you're new tuning in. I appreciate you tuning in. Sarge is my mom. She runs a tight ship, and I've called her Sarge for years now, and don't really think she liked it at first. I'm not convinced she still loves it, but I think she's come to accept it, at least for me and you lovely people out there who always love to hear about Sarge and her goings-ons, if you will. Listen, a quick sponsor, and then I got a couple of different things I got to get to tonight, and you can see the ticker on the bottom. I'm gonna get to that coming up in 1 second, but I got to do this first. Folks, I love this company. She got, I think it was stage 4 cancer. I honestly think I'm right. And she didn't know what to do with herself. She was super distraught. Anyway, a great friend of mine, she started this company out of the blue. She's like, I'm going to be home every day, you know, not feeling great and blah, blah, blah. And I want to start a company. I want to do something to help the people. Carefree Camping Rentals is what it is, folks. Listen, go to www.carefreecampingrentals. Maybe you want to go camping. Maybe you want this scenery right there. Like, doesn't that look amazing? You could take your wife and kids, or maybe you got a girlfriend and she's got kids. You could go roast marshmallows by the fire, you know, treat the kids to a special weekend away. The girlfriend will love it. The wife will love it. Maybe you don't have the stuff, though. Doesn't matter. Carefree Camping Rentals has got you taken care of. They've got tents. They got chairs. They got the cooking stuff. They got everything you need to have a great weekend away camping. They're in Aurelia, so it's perfect location for all the city hits down here, Hamilton, Toronto, Oakville, or wherever you're from. If you're heading north, all you got to do is pop into her place of dwelling, pick up your stuff. It'll be all ready to go, and off you go to the races. And then when you're done, just pack it up, drop it back off, and goodbye, God bless. You don't have to worry about putting it all away when you get home. You just drop it off at her place. See you later. Anyways, that's Carefree Camping Rentals. Go check them out for sure. They are online. They are on Instagram and Facebook as well. That's Carefree Camping Rentals. Rock steady. Okay. A couple different things tonight because I have friends reach out, and we have two friends of mine, mutual friends. They have a close mutual friend that sadly was in a tragic accident last week. I believe it was up in the Hagersville area at some plant up there. Sean McPherson's his name. He's in trouble right now. He had to be airlifted down to Sunnybrook. I got the story here. Yeah, he was involved in a work accident last Tuesday, April 25th, which resulted in him having him and another coworker airlifted out to Sunnybrook Hospital. 3rd-degree burns to 30% of their body, including their eyes and their lungs, which is never a good thing. The recovery is going to be long and arduous, and listen, they're going to need your help. So if you could please find it in your hearts, folks, I'm going to leave the ticker going on and off periodically because I got another thing I got to ask your help for. But if you could spare $5, $10, maybe 25 or 50, anything will help this poor family. The family's got to go back and forth from Hagersville to Toronto every day to be with Sean. And listen, he looks like a great guy. Never met him, but the company he keeps is pretty solid. And I love the people that Angie McPherson, great friend of mine, she's the one that started this for this great family. So please do what you can, folks, if you can at all. Sean McPherson and family, the link's on the bottom of the page. And I really appreciate you helping me and helping my friends out for that cause, and the McPherson family, who are obviously going through a pretty shitty time right now. Whew, that made me verklempt a little bit. I just don't like that. It's sad that stuff happens in the real world every day, but in the grand scheme of things, it really doesn't happen to people you love or know, or thank God. But it does happen, and sadly, it is sort of in my circle, and I'll do anything I can to sort of help out. I will be donating myself, and I encourage you to do the same. Like I said, I'll leave that link up for a bit, and I'll put it up periodically through the show. Godspeed, brother. All right. Next thing, I need another favor, okay? Dear friend of mine, her name's Diana Safraza. I grew up with her. She's a wonderful human being. And listen, she just had her 50th birthday, and she has the opportunity to be voted in to be the cover model for it's called Cover Muscle and Fitness Hers magazine. Now, look, super beautiful, 50 years old. Are you kidding me right now? She looks absolutely fantastic. Come on, guys alone. Just go check her out. She's got an Instagram page, TikTok, Facebook, or I will also post the link on the bottom as well. 50, fellas, okay? She's not even asking for money. She just wants your goddamn votes. Now, she's probably going to kill me for this, but she put up this amazing video, and I think it's only proper that we share it and support her. And you can see how nervous she is, but goddamn, she's doing it for a cool cause. And let's watch. Don't kill me.
Hi. What I find most challenging is for me to ask you to vote for me. I'm shy. I have my insecurities. I have anxieties, and I'm hoping that I can inspire others and motivate others, you know, to get out of their shell, get out of their comfort zone. So I'm asking, because I'm trying to get out of my comfort zone, to please vote for me. Also, you can vote daily. Every day, after 24 hours, you can vote again. So please continue your votes multiple times. Thank you.
She was super terrified to do that video. She is probably going to strangle me for that. We're going out for coffee soon. And listen, I'm super proud of her. Like, listen, what's not to be proud of? She looks absolutely amazing for just turning 50. Listen, and she wants to be the cover model for this magazine, and who could blame her? Absolutely. So you know what? I'll flip up the ticker right now, and so you could see where to go for that. And then I'll flip them back and forth. But fellas, like I said, go to her Instagram. You could go to her Facebook, and then you can go to the link that is floating by on the bottom, and just help my friend out. Okay. Vote daily, 1 vote per 24 hours. It might ask you for money. You don't need to pay money. Yes, you can pay money for votes. That's not how she wants it. She just wants your honest, true vote. No money involved. Facebook, go check it out. All right. I did my due diligence. Listen, where to start? Well, I'm not really going to talk about this, but I'll mention it because it is part of the reason why I just mentioned at the beginning of the show that I might not be around onTrippin with Bondzee much longer. Maybe. I had an interview today with a company that I've been familiar with them since I was a kid and have always wanted to work there. I've applied the last 2 years. They're probably sick of me applying it by now. But listen, I finally got an email that said I qualified. I made it for the first interview. So I had that today. It went swimmingly, except for one thing. I don't have a certain program that they require. Now, they require it, but it's not mandatory. There is definitely a possibility, which I found out, of being trained for it, and it's not even going to take that long. So what I did my due diligence, and I came home and I researched it, and I've already started watching tutorials on it. So I emailed the lady back and said, yo, I've taken the aggressive initiative to already start learning said program that I know 0.0 about. Hopefully that looks impressive. You know what I mean? I think it's impressive. I think it's aggressive. I think it's great. And I really, really, really want this gig. And I cannot wait to share it with you when I finally get it. Because it might not be this one, but I'm going to keep applying to this place. And I will eventually get this dream gig. It is sort of a dream gig for me, hands down. And listen, we'll see what happens. Otherwise, like I said, the interview went swimmingly. So it all depends on how fast they need somebody with that sort of qualification, with that one stupid program. And the shittiest thing is not, you can't just get this program online and go, oh, I got it. You know, it's the stupidest part. Anyways, we'll see what we can do. And I'm looking forward to sharing it with you when I get it. I'm just positive thinking, right? If I get it, it definitely means the end of Trippin' with Bondzee, which is sad. I'd never say the end, I guess. It just means less and less shows, maybe like once a month, if that. But my focus will be first and foremost on this new gig and just fully drive it, like just being the best I can be. So speaking of the show anyway, I'm going to forewarn you that the show is going down to once a week. I don't know when yet. It could be next week. It could be a month from now. But just so many other big things going on too. And just time. This takes it's hard to get guests. And I'd rather have a guest and do the show weekly. And it's not the easiest thing, believe me you. So listen, we've been doing this for 3 years. I love doing it. It's definitely helped me get to where I am now and being able to apply for this job that I just applied for, that I so covet. So listen, fingers crossed, say positive vibes, send positive vibes that I get it. And listen, we'll see. We'll still be around. We're not going anywhere just yet, but just be forewarned that Trippin' with Bondzee ain't going to be here forever. Okay, especially if I get this new gig that could potentially start within the next couple weeks, from what I was told. Now, I won't find out until the end of this week or beginning of next week, which sucks. Like, why can't we just, have the interview? You interview a couple other schlubs today. I know you had one more after me. Let's just get it done with and hire Bonzarelli, and I'll be the best. I will, hands down. Thank you so much, Lisa, for saying that. She says, fingers crossed for you, Bondzee. Listen, I'm really excited. It's I don't want to say too much. It's definitely a local gig here in Hamilton, and it's something that, it's definitely been a part of a lot of people's lives around here growing up, if you're familiar with this area. So we shall see what happens. Fingers crossed. And yeah, again, thanks to Dan and Lisa for throwing out the positive vibes on that. All right, what next? Hockey. Okay, let's go. Real quick, I've only got a couple of minutes. Maybe, you know what? I'm going to save it because my guest just showed up in the green room, and I got a rant to go on about hockey because, listen, 2004 was a long time ago. Time is flying, and that was the last time my beloved Toronto Maple Leafs made it to the second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs, and we finally did it again. So I want to dedicate a whole at least 10 minutes on this, and not just the Leafs, but the whole first round of the playoffs was awesome. And so we'll do that, but I'm going to fast forward to my notes for my guest, and without further, let's just get to it. Listen, I've been a big fan of this wonderful musician for a couple of years now, thanks to other friends through the Glorious Sons and the Tragically Hip. And I know a lot of them have seen this beautiful lady right here. Miss Emily, welcome to the show. They've seen you many times. Welcome to Trippin' with Bondzee on YouTube, and thanks for taking the time to join me.
Oh my gosh, thanks for having me on the show. And also, let's just talk about the Leafs making it to the second round for the next 10 minutes.
Right? Well, we really could, because listen, we got made fun of for so long. I think 10 minutes wouldn't even get to do it justice, but I'll take the 10 minutes.
I don't think I realized it had been 20 years. Like, I wasn't keeping track. I actually didn't think it was that long.
19 plus years. 2004 was the last time.
Wow.
And if you think about it, that is a minute ago, right?
Yeah, that was before I was a mom, and now my kid's about to be 18 this month. So that tells you something.
Yeah, I hear you. My youngest was 2, so he doesn't even remember. And my oldest would have been 6, and same. He wouldn't have remembered either. But I got to share the game 6 with them when they won. We were all together, so that was pretty special. And man, oh man, we'll remember that game for a long time to come for sure.
Yeah, I agree. We were playing a show in Ottawa at the Hard Rock Ottawa Weirdo Carlton Casino, and we actually happened to have a set break and watched overtime.
No way.
Set break, and I got to see it happen live, and we had a 26er Jägermeister, and we slammed through it.
That's
amazing. It was like all the celebration. We don't even drink that much anymore, but gosh, it was so great. And then I got to go back on a stage and like celebrate in Ottawa, but they were pretty good sports.
That's cool. Yeah, good for them. I mean, and listen, they must be excited because they got Ryan Reynolds is going to be their new one of the owners of the new group that's going to take them over. So I think the Ottawa fans are excited, and they're probably happy for us too, I think, for now.
Canadian, keep it Canadian.
Right? I predicted on my show, Emily, right before the first round of the playoffs started, that it would be an Edmonton Oilers, Toronto Maple Leafs Stanley Cup final. And boy, oh boy, aren't we one round closer to that prediction coming true.
I like it. Sounds great. Sounds like great hockey to me.
I love it. It's so cool that you're a hockey fan. And listen, thank you again for doing this. And I'm excited to talk music with you for the next little bit. I promise I won't keep you too long. I know you're super busy, but let's go back to 2020. I know you've been in the music industry a long time, but 2020 really sort of stands out for me, and I'm sure you, because I did my homework. And through my research, I found out that in 2020, February especially, you celebrated the Maple Blues Triple Crown of Female Vocalist, New Artist in Sapphire Blues Video of the Year, which is an incredible feat.
It was pretty great to go from like no recognition outside the confines of Kingston, Prince Edward County area. Right. And then all of a sudden it was like people were paying attention, a little ways down the 401. And we had a really big festival season. summer 2019. We played the Blues Summit in February, I guess it was, of 2019, and it just, things blew up. It was awesome. And
Yeah.
you know, I'm an old bird. I've been around doing this a long time. I'm the same age as Beyonce. She's also an old bird.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
So it was nice that things were finally happening. That's really all I have to say, I guess, about that.
Yeah, well, good for you. Listen, and hard work and dedication pays off, because you did get recognized. You had this triple crown, and then unfortunately, it couldn't have come at a worse fucking time, could it, Emily?
You know what? You put it perfectly, actually. Yeah. Well, we actually played a big sold out show in Kingston in February 2020, and the last day of February was February 29th. Leap year 2020. I played a big sold out show in Toronto, which is, anybody who plays ticketed shows in Toronto if your tickets are $30 plus, it is really hard to get bums in seats. And it was like, whatever, 30 something a ticket. And we sold it out at the Hughes Room. And it was that was a major, major win for me, you know? So, and literally a week later, the world was just shut down.
Was it a super bummer, Emily, or was it something that you were like, okay, well, you know, we came from this super high and we've got to this place. What was your mindset? I mean, you must have been upset, but what did you do to sort of combat it? Because I know the answer, but I want you to tell everybody what happened.
Well, so for me personally, like in the immediate moments that followed, you know, the whole world shutting down, career stuff was the furthest thing from my mind. I really wasn't worried about it at all. I was just like, okay, all my loved ones are safe, because I really did believe that. And the ones that weren't safe, we were concerned about. So that a lot of focus went there. I was healthy. I lived in a beautiful home on the water with my family. I was married at the time. So I had another income that was the main breadwinner of the household. And he was a car dealer. So it was like, we didn't really struggle particularly. At first we were like, are we going to lose everything? And when we figured out within a few weeks we weren't, we were actually going to be great. I mean, he did car dealers, and anybody who owned a mechanic shop did fantastic. I mean, we were considered an essential service, and those guys are fine.
For sure they are. Yeah. Car lots were empty, man. There was some they just ran out of inventory. That's not a bad problem to have at a car dealer.
Cars, houses, toilet paper. I mean, we bought everything.
Yeah.
And then, of course, halfway through the pandemic, I ended up going through a divorce and losing my house. And I was like,
yeah, sorry to hear that.
It was a totally different thing. But honestly, at that point in time, we were used to the pandemic. So I feel like I at least had some skills to kind of navigate the waters. And career just took a back seat. I did what I could. What I could.
Well, you really did it, because, listen, there's this special place that you are famous for playing at, and you played so many. So I think you have the record for the most consecutive sold out shows at the Isabel, and a great place. And so I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but the number was like, you have, I think, 1,000 live recordings from there over your whole entire career of playing there. Does that number sound familiar?
It's not 1,000, but it's a lot.
Okay, it's a lot. And so what you did was you can't go out and play live music, and you're wondering what to do, and you went through a divorce. But you sat down with your team or whoever it was and came up with this brilliant idea to put together live at the Isabel with the Miss Emily band. And boy, oh boy, you took a plethora of songs, let's say, and you whittled it down to, I think, 15, right? And and made a live album out of it. Miss Emily live at the Isabel. And golly gee, didn't you submit it for a Juno Award? And everybody's like, oh, you can't submit a live album for a Juno, blah, blah, blah. Well, you did, and by golly gee, you got nominated for one. So congratulations on that. That's pretty special, yeah?
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Just to be nominated is a pretty cool feeling. You must have been thrilled.
I was so thrilled, and like the category was stacked, last year.
Oh,
like,
for sure.
I mean, it was like the Sue Foley's, Colin James, Colin Linden, Steve Mariner, who was my producer of my new record. So he and I were like essentially on the phone moments before they announced. And anyways, it was such a stacked category, and to be in that group with them was just incredibly awesome.
Yeah, Colin James eventually won. Sad for you, but still, to be nominated is still pretty special, I think, for sure. So
yeah, and you know what? It's right there. Like, I look at it now and I'm like, oh, I can do that. So now that's what I want to do, is be nominated for Junos. And maybe actually win the next time, you know, like who knows? I mean,
Who
someone's
knows?
got to win. Why wouldn't it be me? I mean, I just feel at this point in time, I might as well start reaching farther and farther because, you know, looking backwards doesn't do anything for you. And
No, it sure doesn't.
I don't know, things are happening, you know, as long as I keep wanting them to happen. So.
Yeah, and things are happening. So 2020, you're on fire. You win that Triple Crown. Pandemic hits. You put up the live album, and now we're back on the road. We're playing music. You've done a bunch of gigs. It must be great back out on the road playing live shows.
It is. Yeah, it's still slow going. Like I feel like we're still not quite doing what we can be doing.
Building up steam.
Yeah, it's really, I mean, we're still, a lot of the promoters and festivals and theaters are working through old calendars. You know, they've got people who were booked to play there in 2020 or 2021 and they couldn't. And so we're like a couple years of kind of wading out of the water there. So I'm hoping it'll get busier and busier. This year's looking okay. It's not great.
Yeah.
I have no problem saying that. I don't need to lie.
Yeah.
Because if you want to hire me or anybody wants to hire me, guess what?
Yeah, you're available. And I'm going to talk about all your social medias at the end and the new album and everything. But they can find you at the Miss Emily on all the social medias. You've got a website, www.themисsemily, and it's amazing. It's got all your bio, all the tour dates. So let's talk about some gigs and stuff. You just played at Ottawa, as mentioned. You got to see the Leafs win in overtime. I got to ask about playing a casino. Is that a little extra special? Like, do they go a little above and beyond what most other gigs do, or is it still the same?
So this one was kind of specific. I mean, they're going through a transition of being a Hard Rock, which is pretty amazing. And so the branding's already starting there and they're transitioning over right now. So the place we played was in the casino, but it's a venue unto itself. It's called The Joint. It was a ticketed event. So people had to buy tickets. And so we had a full house, which was so cool because I don't play Ottawa that much. We had a full house and people had bought tickets. They had a special thing for high rollers as well, because it is a casino on the other side of those walls from where we were playing. But we weren't like into the open area where the slot machines were and stuff like that. I didn't have to deal with that.
Okay.
Thank goodness.
Yeah. Right on.
That's my
I just wondered because I see a lot of bands these days are really getting into the casino gigs. So they must get, the extra special treatment to play like the actual real casinos, if you will, and stuff. So it looks pretty cool. I was just wondering.
Oh yeah. No, they treat us very well. I mean, it was the booker I had worked with before when he was at a different location. So I knew what to expect because he's such a solid dude and does such a great job when he books artists. And that goes a long way. So I mean, those are really the gigs I take now. I'm not a princess, but like, I don't want to sit on a sticky couch on the side of the stage. Like, no, thanks.
I don't blame you.
I am too old for that. Or I've worked hard enough in this business. I just don't feel like.
You deserve a little better, right?
Yeah. I just gross washrooms. No, I'm out.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I'm a mom.
Sure.
I just
you
gotta have some standards at some point in time. Otherwise you won't move up. That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah. So you got one more show coming up in Ontario at the aforementioned Isabel Bader Center. That's Friday, May 19th. I might even make the trip up there. Like I've known you for a while now, or of you, and I need to see Miss Emily live. And that sounds like the place to be and see you is at this venue. But so it's a cool venue. You love it there. But then you're off to Europe for a little mini tour. Just you and one other band member, Benny Vander. How does this mini tour come about? And why Sweden and Germany?
So it's funny, we were going to maybe do a bigger one, but it kind of depends on demand. And just like over here, parts of Europe are also kind of slow in picking up. We had kind of what we call an anchor show, and it's in Germany, and it's sold out in February, if you can believe it. There's a wait list for this show. Yeah, so it's it's not a huge room, but it's like, I want to say around 150. Which is pretty great on the other side of the world. So
for sure.
I've played the venue before, but just as part of like a songwriter showcase with Light of Day, which is a charity I work with frequently that travel all over the world. raising money in awareness for Parkinson's disease research.
Oh, nice.
So it was through that connection that I ended up meeting those folks that had that venue, and they said, we'd love for you to come back over here. And then I was supposed to go over in 2020. Didn't happen. And then when I was over with Light of Day in December, we decided to book something. So I just kind of built a few around there. I should actually say my manager did. My manager, Gord Hunter, is a great guy. And, you know, but
That's
we got
incredible.
4 solid gigs. Then we had another offer for something good in Ontario. So I was like, okay, we're going over for 8 days. We're coming home.
Perfect. Hey, quick little jaunt over there. 4 gigs, 8 days. It sounds like some tourism time in there as well, which is never a bad thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's 2 days of travel, so
Of course.
actually, and then a day of driving. I mean, I do have my mom coming with me.
Oh, nice.
Cute. Yeah, she asked, and I was like, "Are you serious? I'll book the ticket." It was like Easter weekend. I was like,
Perfect.
I'm doing it, and so she's coming over with Benny and I.
Cool. You must be pretty excited to go over there and play in Europe and just. I'm sure you're going to rock it and get more and more people interested, and you never know what could happen with. Listen, you got an amazing and incredible voice, and you're pretty blessed with your musical talent in general. So that's pretty awesome.
I'm just really fortunate I get to do what I do. You know, I put a lot of work into it, and you have to take major risks in this industry. And I've gotten used to that.
Yeah.
So when you get used to kind of living on the edge a little bit every day, then you're like, it's fun. It's great. I'll never quit. I love it so much.
Yeah. And why would you when you get to play with a couple of beauties like this? That must have been a pretty special night in itself, eh? You've got to play with that's Bobby Baker on the right and then Gord Sinclair. What an experience that must have been. Take me through that a little bit.
Well, we've worked together for about 10 years, really. And even
oh no, she froze. Uh-oh, she's got low internet signal. I am currently talking with Miss Emily. She's live in Kingston. She's got an amazing band called the Miss Emily Band. She is on her way over to Europe shortly. Hopefully she can get her internet connection. There we go. I'm going to bring her back. She's got full power again. Yeah, you're back.
you got me?
Perfect. I got you.
It's kicking me off of my Wi-Fi. That's very exciting.
Yeah, I saw your signal just went from full bars to red bar. And it's okay. Filled the time and you're back. So, yeah. We were just talking about this. You've known them for a long time, but you had a pretty special, was it just a one night thing or was it a sort of a whole tour that you guys did together?
No, we've worked together for 10 years.
Okay.
We've played a lot of shows together.
Okay.
The Isabel shows, they've done all my Isabel shows, I think, with me.
Cool.
I'm pretty fortunate. You know, they've been my writing team for about 10 years. Rob and I have a duo on the latest record that I released in the fall. And I don't see that ending anytime soon. I mean, it's just when you find people you connect with, that you write with and can perform with, it's pretty special. So both of them played for my album release in the fall as well. So yeah.
That's amazing.
Always. Yeah.
Is there anybody else that you've had the pleasure of playing with from Canada or maybe the USA that you're like, wow, I can't believe I got to play on stage or sing on stage with so-and-so?
You know, I love the Trues. I think they're such a super group. I've thought that way for years and years. And they, you know, Colin McDonald can sing the shit out of anything. So I always love singing with him. He's such a great vocalist, and John Angus is so professional. And I actually I recorded a song that they wrote on my new record as well. They're great writers. They're just, that whole band is so exceptional, I think, in the Canadian scene.
For sure. Just such good guys, eh?
Yeah, very friendly, very kind, and really, really professional and good at what they do. You know, I mean, that if you're good at what you do and you really work hard, you will go places with it. And they're a great example of that. They've had a long career and there's no end in sight for them. You know, Chris Coster from the Glorious Sons, I've worked with him for, 15 years.
Really? What a beauty, eh?
Yeah. He actually produced an album of mine in 2009.
Okay. Wow. That far back. Amazing.
Yeah. Emily Fennell Band, the Red album. We made one record and he produced it. And I still look at that record and think that's a great piece of art, you know, and a lot of it came down to him. He was a wonderful, wonderful talent, still is, and just continues to climb the ladder.
Yeah, he sure
a mix
does.
of
Glorious Sons. His solo stuff that he's just released is amazing. I had Chris Koster on just a couple of months ago. We talked about a lot of his solo music and stuff, and he's such a great guy. And I was blessed to chat with him, and I had the luxury of interviewing John Angus about a year and a half or so ago as well. So yeah,
Awesome.
I've been pretty lucky, and now I've got the Miss Emily. I love it. I thank you again for doing this. We're going to talk about the new album coming up in a minute, but I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you about this. There's somebody pretty special. You didn't get to play with him, I don't think. I got to know where this comes from, but our boy from Kiss said that Miss Emily, who has the best pipes we've ever heard in an unsigned artist, and that's from Gene Simmons of Kiss. How did that all come about, and what was your reaction to how did you find out?
So that's from, believe it or not, that's from 12 years ago, which is really hilarious. But where does time go?
Right.
You know what? He had a scout at a show I did in Toronto, a tiny little hole in the wall show in the Kensington Market. And he had a scout there who contacted him, and they checked out all my stuff online. And then I get a phone call from my pal at Universal Music, Sean Marino, who says to me, I just got a call from Gene Simmons and he wants to call you. So I gave him your number. I was like, okay.
Wow.
So he called me and we talked for quite a while. And then that was like the beginning of a couple months worth of email.
Oh no.
Very hard. Oh no.
I got you back.
You got me?
Yeah, you're
Okay.
back. Yeah.
He emails you at 3 a.m. and he expects a response within a timely fashion. He's like quite a dude. Very smart. I learned a lot working with him. It was, he offered us a development deal. It really wasn't the right fit for me at the time. I had a young daughter, and he really wanted to kind of sexualize what I did. And
yeah,
I believe in the sexualization of my art. I have no problem with that. I'm not at all shy about that kind of stuff. I own my shit with that.
Yeah.
And I call it modern day feminism. And but I also still have a daughter, and it's really important to me that that there's a level of respect and responsibility I have in I think creating a good example for her.
Yeah,
What I believe to be, and I have no judgment of any other woman who chooses to do otherwise.
Yeah.
I know what's right for me.
Definitely. Good for you. The music scene in Kingston, it is pretty special. We've just talked about, Chris Koster for one, and then so many other great musicians. You've been there quite a long time now. How has that whole industry and being in Kingston influenced your music from when you got there to where you are now? It must be a pretty big transition because you've been there quite a while now.
You know what? That's a great question. I've never actually received that question, and I love it.
Thank you.
Very much it has changed. When I came to Kingston, the majority, I sang all types of music, but the majority of stuff I was singing was more on the countryside, and there wasn't really a country scene here. There was a big country radio station, but there weren't a lot of country gigs in the bars, and I was a bar artist for the most part when I arrived here. And I was also a solo artist, so I very quickly had to get a band. And then no one wanted to hire me because I was a girl.
Really?
But it went into like a bar rock type of place for a while. And then it really naturally found its way into more of a soulful blues style. And then when I kind of, let the Emily Fennell band thing take a back seat, and the bar work take a backseat, I naturally started playing my first instrument more, which was piano, and writing more on piano. And then a new sound developed, and it's but there's influence there from my many years working in the bars here in Kingston still.
Yeah, no doubt. Your last album was 2018, I believe, and it was called In Between. And then 2020 you released the live album, and then we've got a brand new one, Defined by Love. I find the title captivating, actually. Take me through the writing process. I know through talking with you for the past 15 or 20 minutes, I've learned that you've had some pretty cool collaborators on this album. Aside from that, do you do a lot of your own writing, and what's your writing process like?
Yeah, 90% of the record I wrote by myself.
Cool.
And it just, sometimes it works that way. Sometimes I do more collaborating, but it's generally I have nuggets of ideas, be it a musical idea or a lyrical idea. Defined by Love was started years ago, actually, and it's kind of evolved quite a bit. And actually, the day we went into the studio, my bass player, Zach Colbert, was having coffee with me in the morning before we headed over to the studio. And I said, I'm thinking that...
Oops. Sorry.
I'm thinking, that's okay. I'm thinking that maybe we should turn this ballad into like a Temptations soul tune. And he was like, yeah. So we kind of jammed it out that morning and we went in the studio, and little did we know it would become the title track of the record.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah. So everything's always evolving, changing. And I love that about my music and music in general. I mean, different interpretations. I continue to differently interpret all my former music I've released anyways. So it's fun.
Well, I've got a song, Glory, here, but can we play a little bit of it to let the people hear how beautiful your voice is and how good this really is?
Awesome. Yeah, thanks.
Let's do it. All right.
Baby, you're living a good life. Baby, you're living a good life. Why does it even matter who really cares? You get to drink up the moment. Nobody's living forever. I never thought I was better than my attempts, but you see it all. The good, the
Such a fabulous, cool voice, Emily. Like it really is pretty special. You've just got this really cool, unique sound. Is there a place that it comes from? Did your grandmother have some, special voice and you got it, or is it just you?
Thank you. First of all, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And yes, no, it comes from feeling. I feel all the music I sing, and a lot of that comes down to my dad was a singer, my mom was a singer, but more like kind of church type music,
Okay.
More sacred-y type stuff, traditional. But my dad was a soul singer. He also did secular music, United Church I grew up in. So a little bit of gospel stuff. And then, sorry, I have to sneeze.
Wow.
Sorry, allergy season.
You saved it.
Yeah, so my dad was a great soul singer, and my grandparents listened to great music. I really am fortunate because there's a lot of great music in my house, and I was a child of the 80s. I was born in the 80s. We did not have any of that weird shitty 80s music. So it was
what do you
like
mean? What's wrong with Depeche Mode and some of that crazy 80s music that was out?
I mean, there was a little bit we were listening. I don't know. It was pretty limited. So
yeah, for sure. Oh, good. Listen, you also, not only do you have this captivating voice that it's just reminiscent of so many great old female artists, but you have a dynamic and captivating just stage presence about you too. Is that something that came naturally? Is there acting or theatrical in your background, or is it just Emily being Emily on stage?
It really comes from a long line of learning and studying the craft of live performance. I wasn't shy as a little kid. But by the time I hit the preteen era, I thought I was hideous, and your self-esteem takes such a dive. And I still to this day, as a adult woman, struggle with that sometimes. I think a lot of us do. And so sorry, I feel like I'm gonna sneeze again. Excuse
Bless
me.
you.
That has never happened in an interview.
You're the first guest in 3 years and probably about 200 guests almost that you're the first one to sneeze on the show. So congratulations.
I've never even heard of it. I'm having a full-on allergy attack. Okay, Mother Nature, you win. So yeah, I worked at the Wilkinsons country singing group. They used to do these country singing contests, and we used to travel with them. And they had a woman named Sue Sexsmith who used to train live performance. And I did a few lessons with her, and a lot of those moves I still use to this day. And that was like from childhood. We did the country singing contest circuit, and you were judged 50% on your live performance. So it really, if you want the money at the end of the trophy
Right.
situation, you need to kind of become good at that. And so I worked really hard at it, and I've continued to work hard at it.
Yeah.
I saw the Stones a few years ago, and I literally was just like working. My brain doesn't stop. I'm working. I'm watching Mick Jagger like, whoa.
Oh, he knows
Just
what
a
he's
little
doing,
guy,
doesn't he?
but he makes himself so huge, and I'm like, that's it. That's totally it.
Yeah. Well, people are captivated by you. I've seen so many live videos from you during the COVID, just your concerts. I've seen a bunch on YouTube, and I love your stage presence, and you get the crowd involved. The people are captivated by you, and you do a wonderful job. So listen, I've kept you long enough. I really do want to mention the brand new album one more time. It's Defined by Love. I highly recommend people, they can get it on YouTube, all the streaming services. It's fantastic. And listen, congrats on the new album. And I hope you have a great time over in Europe. And I look forward to seeing you play live somewhere this summer.
Yeah, come on out to the Isabel. It's going to be a great show, May 19th. I'm really, really looking forward to being back in that space. So thanks for having me on the program. I appreciate it so much.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming on. And like I said, everybody can find you on all the social medias. You're very forthcoming. You're so nice. And YouTube and all the music platforms, they can find you. The brand new album, it's called Defined by Love. Fantastic. I really appreciate you taking the time to come on here. Thanks again, Emily.
Thank you so much. Have a great night, man.
Take care and go Leafs go.
Go Leafs go.
Yeah, right on. All right. Wowee. That was super special, folks. Thanks for tuning in for that. Miss Emily, make sure she's all over at the Miss Emily. She's on all the socials. You got to go to YouTube, subscribe, listen. Got to check her, listen to her just like up on that stage at that Isabel place. And she's playing with some of the coolest cats in the planet. I mean, doesn't get much cooler than these two right there. I mean, it's pretty special that she's got such a great relationship with them, Chris Coster, and so many other great Canadian musicians. I don't think there's a better place in the country where better music and musical influences and band members come from is Kingston, Ontario. Wowee. That was pretty special. I really enjoyed talking to Emily, and yeah, definitely such a sweet, wonderful person. All right. Hockey. We got to get back to hockey because I've got 13 minutes left in this show and I've got so much to get to. Whatever we don't get to tonight, we'll just do it Wednesday. Okay. But listen, hockey was amazing this weekend. I don't even care if you're not even a fan. Sarge, she's not a fan really, but you can't, she was captivated by the fact, well, the Leafs going to win or the Leafs going to win. And then it goes to overtime. And I wasn't here, but I could tell you old Sarge was captivated and she was happy for all of her 3 sons and her husband who have been diehard Leaf fans our whole bloody lives. And it's been since 2004 since the Leafs got it done, but they finally got it done. Dramatic fashion, Game 6, overtime. Down in Tampa Bay, we did not want to come back for Game 7. No Leaf fan on this planet wanted any piece of that whatsoever. Our track record isn't that good. And so the memes and the nonsense and madness we've had to listen to for the past 19 years of not making it past the first round, especially when we've made it to the first round for a lot of those times. Maybe I should say a lot. That might be a bit of a stretch. But especially the past, let's say, 5 years, it's been tough. Game 7 exits, especially when you're up the 3-1. I'm not going to sit here and ram it in the Boston Bruins' faces, but listen, you've got to give it back to them a little bit, a little dose of the old medicine, right? I love this meme. I saw this today, and I just was buckled over laughing, and I love that it's that rat-faced loser on there. Guess what, bro? Not Joe Ure. Love it to death for sure. Dan says Leafs 4 straight against the Panthers. Okay, I'm gonna get to my predictions. I am not disagreeing with you, Dan. I'm gonna give the Florida Panthers, because they took Boston to 7. I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt and give them at least 1. Maybe 2, just like Tampa. But I think Leafs in 5, possibly 6. Like I said, the first round in Tampa. And guess who was right? Old Bondzee called the Boston. Called the Leafs series. I said probably 5, but most likely 6. I was right. I said Oilers in 6 against LA. Nailed it. A couple other ones I didn't get right. And listen, I'm glad I didn't. Colorado Avalanche. Thanks for coming out, ex-Stanley Cup champions by first round. Second-year team, the Seattle Kraken, absolutely come back on a heater and beat the former Stanley Cup champions. How good is that, man? Pretty awesome to see for sure. Mike Records, thanks for joining in, buddy. He says your boys are now favorite of the cup. Isn't that insane? Listen, and I think the fact that there were some major teams that got ousted this year. Bye-bye Tampa Bay, thanks to the Leafs. Bye-bye Boston Bruins, which, listen, I hate to go because I have some great friends that are Boston Bruins fans, and they're down in Nicaragua, and they're a wonderful older couple, but the rest of the Boston Bruins fans they can go fuck themselves 100%. You got embarrassed. I told you another thing I predicted and told you all. You got to start listening to me. Boston Bruins are gonna lose in the first round. Kiss of death. They won the President's Cup trophy. Thank you, dear President's Cup trophy, for sticking to your curse. They won 65 games out of an 82-game season. They got the most points ever in history, and they are out in the first round against the lowly Florida Panthers. What? Yeah! Boy, oh boy, ain't karma a bitch. Hey, boys, down 3-1 you're up 3-1 to the Florida Panthers, and adios. Guess what? It's not your year. Here's another beauty. Skittles out of nowhere from the top rope. They said, my weekend wasn't great, but at least I didn't choke away a 3-1 playoff lead. Anyways, taste the rainbow. God bless Skittles. I don't ever recall them doing anything to do with the NHL or promotions, commercial, anything. But God bless them for sending out this heater of a troll tweet. That was awesome. So I'm going to get a pack of Skittles tomorrow just to support them because they what do you call that? Taunted the Boston Bruins. God bless them. Another thing, I gotta go. I was supposed to put these in order, and they're a little out of order, but I gotta find this cool. There's another great stat I wanted to show. Maybe it's this one. Nope. This one. Maple Leafs are the first team in NHL history. Let me read that again. The Maple Leafs are the first team in NHL history to win 3 overtime games as a road team in a single playoff series. You telling me that this isn't our year? We got the monkey off the back. Round 1 monkey, 19 years. Bye. Adios. Guess what? No Bruins on our way. No Tampa Bay in our way anymore. Colorado Avalanche on the other side. They gone bye-bye. Maybe the stars are aligning, folks. I'm not saying there's not other good teams that are still in it. You know, Dallas, Vegas is great. Oilers. I called the Oilers. Toronto Maple Leafs Stanley Cup final. You all probably thought I was completely nuts and were going to commit me to the loony bin. Well, guess what? Now every goddamn pundit out there is picking the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Edmonton Oilers to go to the Stanley Cup final, with the Toronto Maple Leafs being the favorites. Heard it here first, Buster, from Bondzee. Because I don't know. Something about this year has just been different. I love the fact that the Boston Bruins went on a heater of a year and won 65 games. I wish they won all 82 and won the President's Cup. Doesn't really matter because they lost. Kiss of death to that President's Trophy. If I were another team in the NHL, I would not win that trophy for anything. You can keep your President's Trophy, but we don't want nothing to do with it. Dan says Oilers in 6. Oilers, Leafs in 6. Yeah, listen, I think I'm still sticking with my prediction. I think the Oilers, they're going to have a little tougher time with the Las Vegas Golden Knights. The Golden Knights were first in the West. And what's a boy? McJesus track record against Vegas isn't so great. Now, I'm not really going to hold a whole lot of tuppence to that because he's still Connor McDavid. And listen, you can never count that guy out. Maybe he hasn't played so great against Vegas in the regular seasons and stuff. It's the playoffs, man, and it's a whole different monster. So let's see what the Oilers can do. I picked the Oilers in 7. Oilers in 7 over Vegas. Leafs in, let's say, 5, Florida. and then I'll give you the other predictions Wednesday. All right. 6 minutes. Yeah, I want to get to am I done with my hockey talk? Did I miss anything? I think I showed all the pictures too and the graphics I had for it. Listen, I'm just stoked. I know we've said this before, especially for the last 19 years, but guess what? That first round curse, gonzo. We're off to the Florida Panthers. There's no, we've lost to them before. There's no like crazy expectations. We just got to go out and play the same hockey we played against Tampa Bay, sort of. We had a couple of rough periods, don't get me wrong, but our core four is the shit. Samsonov, our goalie. Listen, he played pretty damn decent had a bad game. I think one bad game. Not too bad at all. And listen, we got that clown out Hall off of defense. As soon as we made those changes for game 6, it's a no-brainer. I don't think you're going to see those guys that got pulled for the Leafs in a game anytime soon. But we did it, and I'm super proud of the Leafs. It was a great night, and just amazing times all around for sure. All right, what else do we got? I think that's it for hockey. Oh, I got to show this. Well, big shout out to my boy. I thought this team was going to do better. The under-18 Canadian team, great group of kids there. There's going to be a lot of future superstars. The kid on the far left, second one up with the mustache and the long hair, is wearing the assistant captain. That is my longtime 30-year buddy. That's his stepson, Colby Barlow, plays for the Owen Sound Attack. That kid is 17 years old. He just scored, I think he was the second or third most goals in the OHL this past season, and he's 17. Captain of the Owen Sound Attack in his second year in the league, and he absolutely killed it this year. Had an amazing year, and listen, he's touted to go, I believe it's 7th or 8th. Hell yeah, thanks for watching from Newfoundland. Appreciate that. I think that's it. Yeah, St. John's, Newfoundland. Right on, appreciate it. And go Leafs, go for sure. Naomi says, I said that matchup also. Of course you did, Nene. You're the best. Anyways, this under-18, they ran into a tough Sweden team, and they got dusted twice by them. But Colby Barlow, definitely look for him. He's going to go in the top 10 for sure this draft coming up in Nashville in June. So my buddy's stoked. I'm stoked for him and the family. And go Colby Barlow. And you'll probably see him in the World Juniors this coming Christmas, which is the most amazing tournament. Anyway, he had a hell of a tournament. He's a hell of a hockey player, and I'm stoked to watch him continue to go and have an amazing career, whether it's one more year in the O or he gets to go right up to whatever team drafts him this year. We'll see. Kid's 17, and he's the size of a brick shithouse. It's unbelievable. All right. A couple more things. Old Jack Nicholson. This guy's been MIA for so long, and he finally shows up at his beloved Lakers. I think it was the Lakers gold. No, they haven't had. This was game 7. Lakers and I forget who they played. Motormouth was on the other team. Anyways, old Jack shows up. Nice of him to comb his hair and shave. Guy hasn't been seen him forever, and he comes out looking to the game looking like that. Man, how the cookies have crumbled for old poor Jack. Listen, I'm sure maybe it looks like he's probably got some sort of medical condition. He doesn't look the best. Good on him for coming out and showing his support out in public. Anyways, I got to make a decision here. Do I do photos or do I do a couple of videos? Because I got some heaters. And, well, let's play this one because I didn't get to play it, but sure was a great moment, wasn't it? Check this out. Oh, you got to hit play, Sonny.
The net, coming out in front, John scores! John Tavares! They finally caught lightning in a bottle!
That's the beauty, isn't it,
And the Maple Leafs have broken the 19-year curse!
Marner, Matthews, Barrett, Dubas up in the box. Tim Shanahan. Listen, it's been special time, and sure has the makings of a special year, doesn't it, folks? My golly gee. All right. This guy doesn't look like much of a hockey player. You got a bunch of moron to me, but folks, you have got to check this numbskull out. Ready? Watch this.
I have the Star Wars Lego set Death Star, but can you chug a sparkling water and not burp?
Nope, and neither can you. Watch this.
Oh my gosh. What do I do? I might have the Star Wars Lego set Death Star. But can you chug a sparkling water and not burp?
Gotta play it one more time because it's just too good. Can you chug a sparkling water just like me? I'm so cool. Oh, I can't do it. It hurts so much. What do I do?
Oh my gosh. What do I do? I might have the Star Wars Lego set Death Star. But can you chug a sparkling water and not burp?
If this doesn't tickle you pink, I don't know what will. This is pretty awesome. Check this maniacs out. This was me and my brothers back in the day, 100%. Ready? Watch. Adios. That's awesome. Who is ready for the kid to get out of the bottom? Maybe you can see him get to the top there, but I love the kid at the top. One more time, he says, Geronimo. That was awesome. This was pretty awesome too. Maybe not for Buddy who's driving the jet ski, but definitely for his buddy watching and commentating. This is the best commentary I've ever heard. Watch this.
Here come Pee-wee, y'all. Why y'all let this fool get on a jet ski? Look at him, y'all. Oh, Lord. It's a wall right there.
Oh, no. Wall right there. Oh, did you
somebody call now?
I'm
We
going to
need
play this
an
5 more
ambulance down
times.
here.
Listen and watch.
Here come Pee-wee, y'all. Why y'all let this fool get on a jet ski? Look at him, y'all. Oh, Lord. It's a wall right there. Oh, Lord. Somebody call now. We need an ambulance down here. Here come Pee-wee, y'all. Why y'all let this fool get on a jet ski? Look at him, y'all. Oh, Lord. It's a wall right there. Oh, Lord. Somebody call now. We need an ambulance down here.
We gonna need an ambulance. One more time.
Here come Pee-wee, y'all. Why y'all let this fool get on a jet ski? Look at him, y'all. Oh, Lord. It's a wall right there. Oh, Lord. Somebody call now. We need an ambulance down here. Here come Pee-wee, y'all.
Need ambulance. Oh man, my face hurts from laughing so hard at those videos. Those are pretty good ones tonight. Listen, I think do we have time for anything else? I don't think so. We're at we'll save the Walmart weirdos for Wednesday. Why not? It's that good. You guys are going to listen. I'll tickle you with a little feather. Here is what you can expect from my new segment, Walmart Weirdos. We'll premiere it on Wednesday, but here's a little snippet, if you will. This thing. Now, I honestly can't wait to get into this whole segment because I've got so many questions about these Walmart weirdos. Honey, I don't know what kind of hurry you were in. It doesn't look like you were in too much of a hurry. You needed body jewelry that bad that you couldn't find a pair of pants that fit to go out into goddamn public? Why do I have to be, and my poor fans and friends out there have to be subjected to that? I'll tell you what it isn't. It certainly ain't that. I would rather go to Walmart and not see this. By golly gee. Anyways, folks, that's just a snippet of what's to come for Walmart Weirdos. Brand new segment, Trippin' with Bondzee on Wednesday. All right, that's it. I'm getting the hell out of here. I'm going to watch the end of the Rangers. Or is it over? Can anybody tell me real quick? Rangers jersey update. I think it's still on. What else? I think that's it. We are done. Yeah. Have a great rest of the week. We'll see you Wednesday. Super huge thanks to Miss Emily for joining me. That was such a good chat. She's so chill and cool. Really, I just had such a great time chatting with her. I'm looking forward to chatting with another amazing Canadian artist coming up, female artist, Billy the Kid, Billy Pettinger. I think she should be feeling better by now. We'll reach out. She could be on the show Wednesday. Excuse me. And also, speaking of great guests coming up, we've got Pharaoh Minx, like I mentioned, and Paul Langlois from the Tragically Hip next week here on Trippin' with Bondzee. Pretty good get. I know. Thank you very much. Leafs did it. We finally did it. Amen. It's only round 1. I know there's a lot of games to go, but it is step 1, the biggest hurdle that we have failed to conquer for so goddamn long, 19 years to be exact. We did it. So proud of them. Jays are on a heater too. We lost 1 game only. I think it's 6 in a row. Then we lost to Seattle on Sunday. We lost in extra innings. But listen, the Jays are doing amazing for sure. Naomi, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. It was awesome. I'm really looking forward to seeing you in the summer. We got to go see Miss Emily for sure. I know you're a big fan. And my boy Tim M just gave me the update. It is 2-0 Jersey in the third. That is music to my ears. That's just another good team gone with a really good goalie. Things are looking brighter and brighter and brighter for my Toronto Maple Leafs. Woo! Here we go, baby. Tomorrow night, game 1. Oh, real quick, I gotta give a little fuck you to the Florida Panthers. I know I called them lowly earlier, and I didn't mean that in a really negative way. I just nobody on this planet literally picked it, not even me, for them to lose against Boston Bruins. They won, good on them. But you know what? It's not good on you. Fucking canceling or not letting Canadian fans buy tickets. And this is a bit all over the social medias today. Huge. People are freaking out. Listen, I found out it's only for 24 hours. They want to give the Florida fans, because they know we're going to infest that goddamn arena. Remember they used to have the rats there? Well, guess what? There's new rats in town, baby. And it's called the Toronto Maple Leafs and their fans. And we're going to do it probably in 5. But I digress. Go Leafs, go. Whew. Go Jays, go. Don't forget the causes. I've been running them on the thing. Please go and support my friend Diana Safrazza. Folks, she wants to be on the cover of Fitness Magazine, Health and Fitness Magazine, the Hers edition. Listen, she looks fabulous. She is fabulous. She just turned 50. And you just got to go, and there's the link right there. It's scrolling on the bottom. Please vote for her at least once a day for the next 10 days. Okay, fellas? It's not that hard. She's on the Instagram. She's on the TikTok and all over the place. Check her out. Make sure you vote. And then I'll switch over here real quick. Also, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention this before I left. Please, this guy right here, Sean McPherson. Where's my picture? Right here. Please, please, please find it in your heart to maybe spare 5, 10, hopefully 20, 25 bucks. Maybe even 50. Unfortunate accident last week. Really, really close friends of mine are good friends with this guy, and he's really suffering right now. He's in Sunnybrook. 3rd-degree burns to 30% of his body, including his eyes and lungs. It's not the best of situations. Listen, lost wages, all the travel, the hotels, everything. The family needs your help. And, yeah, please find it in your hearts. Maybe you can donate a little bit of money for sure. So, yeah, that's it. And really appreciate you guys. If you could help out, that'd be amazing. A couple of quick comments here. I saw some that I missed. Tim, congrats to your Maple Leafs. Yeah, thanks, man. I know you're a huge Tampa Bay fan. And listen, the sky's been pretty blue for you the past few years. And you won 2 Stanley Cups along the way. So thank you for being gracious and congratulating me for sure. Mike, thank you. I saw your wife tuned in earlier as well. Really appreciate you guys supporting me. Oh, no way. I just got this breaking news. Gordon Lightfoot just passed away. I know he'd canceled his shows this summer. I didn't realize it was that dire. That's pretty sad. Gordon Lightfoot passed away. God, how old was he? Got to be in the 80s. Yeah, for sure. Anyway, sad news. Canadian icon, Gordon Lightfoot, no longer with us. What an amazing musician, human being, and such a tremendous, influence for so many Canadian musicians and American musicians out there too, for sure. All right, once more, please go vote for my friend Diana. She deserves it. We got to get her on the cover of this magazine, okay, boys? Do your due diligence. Go check her out and, yeah, and vote for her. It's really easy, okay? Just do it. Thank you. And thank you to you, and thank you to Miss Emily for joining in tonight. We'll see you Wednesday. That's it. That's all. I got to go. I want to watch the end of the game. Adios. Bye.
What was that?
That was very strange.
It was very weird.
Peculiar.
It was kind of amusing.
Yes, it was rather funny.
It was incredibly funny.
I loved it.
Hilarious. Wonderful.